this video for sign numbers and absolute value, target 3, where we will use positive and negative numbers and absolute values to describe real-world contexts. So I'm going to read through all of these. These are what the questions on your review tomorrow and your test on Friday will be. So here we go. Number 1. The first play of a football game resulted in a loss of 12 yards. So we know the word loss means it's going to be negative, right? And then a penalty resulted in another loss of 5 yards. So we add the absolute value of 12 to the absolute value of negative 5. And that's going to tell us how many total yards they lost. Number 2. Eleni withdrew $45 from her savings account. She then used her debit card to buy groceries for $30.15. What was the total amount Eleni took out of her account? So that one's similar, just set it up. It's pretty much just like number 1. Number 3. If it is 85 degrees in California and negative 4 degrees in Nebraska, how many degrees warmer is it in California? So you are going to have to do absolute value, which is 85, plus the absolute value of 4 to find that, of negative 4, I'm sorry. Number 4, the high temperature on Wednesday was 93 degrees. What was the absolute value of the temperature on Wednesday? That one's pretty easy. Number 5, the high temperature in Butte, Montana was 15 degrees Fahrenheit. But that night, the temperature went down to 18 degrees Fahrenheit. How many degrees did the temperature change? So you're going from 15 to negative 8. So you're going to do the same thing. You're going to do absolute value of 15 plus the absolute value of negative 8. Most of these are very similar to that. Number 6. The diving board is 25 feet above the water level of the pool. So here we go. I drew the pool, and the diving board is 25 feet high. If the daring diver dives off of the board and goes down 12 feet below water level in the pool, how many feet did he travel? So this one's very similar. He went down 25 feet and then another 12. So how many feet did he travel? Number 7. The platform of an oil rig is at sea level. The tallest structure on the platform is 120 feet tall. The oil rig structure under the platform goes down 1,200 feet below sea level to attach to the ocean floor. Wowie. What is the distance from the top of the tallest structure where the structure attaches to where the structure attaches to the ocean floor? So basically, we're talking about an oil rig. The top of the oil rig is 120 feet above water. The bottom of the oil rig is negative 1,250 feet above water. So we want to know what's the distance from the top up here to the bottom down here. So see if you can figure that out. Number 8. Which integer represents a temperature that is less than or colder than negative 60? So remember, the further you get away from 0, those numbers are less than. That's my hint. And an integer, we haven't really gone over that. It's a number. Which number represents a temperature that's colder than negative 60? Number 9. What is the reason that absolute value is always written as positive? This I've said probably 50 times since we started this unit. So here we go. Listen for the phrase that sounds familiar, the sentence that sounds familiar. A. Absolute value is talking about numbers, so it must be positive. B. Absolute value does not always have to be positive. C. Absolute value is like a clock. It only has positive numbers. Or D. Absolute value is talking about distance, and distance is always measured by positive numbers. Number 10. Mary is swimming 5 feet below the surface. Which integer, remember integer is a number, represents the absolute value of Mary's location? Number 11. A diver was 40 feet below the surface of the water. A fisherman was casting off a dock right above the diver that was 12 feet above the surface of the water. How far apart are the diver and the fisherman? So here's my diver. He's 40 feet below water. And then the fisherman is 12 feet above the water. So what's the distance between them? Number 12. While hiking, Sandra went up 120 meters. If she started at 800 meters, what's her elevation now? So she started at 800, she went up 120. And 13. A climber starts descending. Descending means going down from a 533 feet above sea level and keeps going until she reaches 10 feet below sea level. So how many feet did she descend? So she starts up here, she goes all the way down to below sea level, which is right here. So how far did she go? And then this is just practice comparing positive and negative numbers. Okay? So if you see a positive and a negative, like number 1, it says 6 and negative 73. We know that a positive versus a negative, the positive number is always bigger. Okay? Now, looking at number 11, it says negative 92 and negative 24. With negative numbers, the closer it is to 0, the bigger it is. So actually, in this one, negative 92 is less than negative 24. Okay? So good luck. Try the rest of these on your own.